Hello again. Time for another how-to. Today we're going to talk about self-defense. Have you ever been in a physical altercation with somebody that could very likely beat your ass? I mean, odds are you probably got your ass beat, right? I mean, after all, you're sitting here watching YouTube videos. Let's face it, you're not exactly the physical type, are you? Well, it's time you take a cue from the Asians. I mean, look at them. They're smaller than us, yet they are always beating the shit out of us in the movies. Why do you think that is? Well, it's because they're magical. They're like fucking elves or something. They can create these force fields and shit. So despite their height disadvantage, they're still able to whoop ass using their magical elf powers of the Orient. Well, in this video, I'm going to teach you in 5 easy to follow steps how you can utilize these magical Oriental elf powers to defend yourself against any potential bully you may face. Then we'll take a look at some of the magic in action. So that said, let's get on with the lessons.
5!
Be Asian. This is a fairly significant step. At least a good portion of you are in fact not Asian. And it is, as of yet, impossible to just become Asian. But there is an alternative. You can dress the part and pretend to be, even if you are not. Many of the great masters of bullshittery have been using this method for years. In fact, go to any random martial arts school in your region, and what will you see? White dudes. So, for step 1, if you are, in fact, not Asian, simply get some Asian-looking clothes and pretend. If you are Asian, what are you doing here? You already have this magic. Go fight crime or something.
4!
The butthole pucker. When a non-Asian makes an attempt to become an Asian and use these magical Oriental elf powers, you have to be prepared to fail many times before perfecting the art. This is where the butthole pucker will come into play. Let's say you're in an altercation with a large brute, and you see a fist making a beeline straight for your face. After the obligatory life flashing before your eyes phase passes, you want to erect your magical shield, and then you will want, as a precaution, to engage the butthole pucker response. This will keep you from actually shitting your pants if the shield fails and the punch lands. The last thing you want is to have the shit literally beaten out of you.
3!
Your shield and your battery. Now we will talk a moment about the battery from which your shield draws its power. The battery is you. It is your, it's your soul. Your shield pulls its voltage from your soul. So you'll want to keep your soul fully charged in the event you have to draw on its power to create your shield. I personally find that Hot Pockets have the right collection of chemicals to fill and sustain your soul battery. So you'll want to eat at least 4 Hot Pockets a day. You'll actually gain several key benefits from this. 1, the Hot Pockets are going to both burn and freeze your mouth. This will deaden the pain receptors in your mouth, making it hurt that much less if your shield fails. 2, the Hot Pockets will ensure you spend about 35 to 50% more of your day sitting on a toilet, thereby not being as likely to be in a physical altercation. Pro tip, perfecting step 2 will ensure you don't have an unfortunate accident if you had 3 or 4 Hot Pockets and cannot find a toilet.
2!
Activating your shield. This is actually the easiest step. You simply have to hold your arms in front of your torso, elbows bent, and fingers spread. Keep your arms completely rigid and unmoving. You'll want to imagine a blue force field forming in front of your arms. Imagine the bully's fist flying at Mach 6 towards your face. Imagine the shield acting as a barrier in which the bully's fist cannot penetrate. Then imagine the bully's hand impacting the shield, every bone from his elbow to his fingers breaking in a chain reaction. Imagine all of this in slow motion. If you can, even imagine it in bullet time, with that epic spinning camera shit from The Matrix. Then imagine the bully falling to the ground in slow motion and writhing in pain. Imagine the bully has not learned of step 2 and knows nothing of the butthole pucker technique, therefore shitting himself excessively. Lastly, imagine yourself skipping off to play Pokemon Go, while you heat up some Hot Pockets to recharge your soul.
1!
Projecting your shield. You can even take your Oriental Elf Magic Soul Shield on the offensive and use it as a weapon. After perfecting step 4, you can use the same techniques to push your shield out into your enemies, causing them all sorts of anguish, as this shield apparently makes people have seizures, shit themselves, whatever. The shield can make swarms of enemies freeze up Mr. Freeze Ice Ray style, have seizures, shit themselves in public, which is most embarrassing, or just fall over. The method is basically the same. You use your power of white boy imagination combined with Hot Pockets and Asian clothing. The power of white boy imagination is next to unstoppable. Just imagine the enemy charging at you. Imagine your shield that you erected in step 4 then push it out from your center of mass. Imagine your shield entering the enemy and fucking with their insides and stuff. Then imagine them falling to the ground and having spasms and seizures and shit. Of course, for dramatic effect, imagine all of this in slow motion, movie style. Now that you've perfected your technique, let's take a moment to look at this epic Asian elf shield magic in action. What? Okay, so that didn't go as planned. I think what happened here was he didn't have time to get his shield up, I think. Also, he's clearly not wearing the right attire for this. But let's at least have one more try at it. Oh, fuck. Okay, so he's just not perfected the art, that's all. Jesus. Did you hear that last pop? That was his dignity exiting through the back of his head. Oh, shit. Look. He gets up immediately and checks on her, and then realizes what he was supposed to be doing and flops back down on the ground and starts having a seizure. And that's the slow realization that you might be getting a lawsuit. No, okay, so you see what happened here was his shield failed, and so he had to resort to his backup plan. So what he did was he tried to get out of the way, which clearly didn't work, so he cried like a bitch and tapped out, which is always an answer. If your shield doesn't work and you catch yourself in a situation where the bully's beating you up, you just tap out. You say, whatever, I'll put my face in the toilet, it doesn't matter, I give up, you win.
They're losers.